Hey everyone, it's Sybil. I'm here to share with you some more storage solution ideas for your craft room. I was doing this series last year and I didn't get all the way through it, so I thought I would just start back in here. Today I'm going to share with you how I store just some basic things like mailing envelopes. I'm a card maker, so I have a lot of envelopes. At least I used to. Before the holidays, I did send off a lot of cards for Thanksgiving and Christmas and more for Valentine's Day as well. So I don't have as many envelopes as I started with, and I do need to purchase some more, but I'm kind of in the mode of using what I have, which is a good thing. But I wanted to share with you how I store these items, and these baskets that you're going to see, most of the blue containers you're going to see, I purchased from Office Max several years ago, about 5 years ago, when we were in Oregon before we moved back out here to Missouri 4 years ago. And I love these baskets. They're nice and sturdy. And you know, some baskets, they're pretty to look at, but they're not sturdy. They fold in, which is not a good thing if you want to store items and don't want them to get, smushed and squished and bent out of shape. Now, before I share what I'm doing here, I want to say a couple of things. I apologize for the way that my fingernails look. I have been washing my hands so much. My hands are really dry. It starts making my fingernails brittle. So I filed them down to pretty much nothing. And they don't look so pretty, but don't look at my fingernails. Now that I've said it right, what are you going to do? You're going to look at my fingernails. But anyway, the other thing is my husband was helping me film different parts of my craft room last year, and I've been asked to do an updated version of a craft room tour. Well, I am hoping to do that, but I am still going through my craft room and organizing. Now, what I'm going to share with you today, excuse me, is how I've organized these items for years. It has not changed because it works for me, and hopefully it'll give you an idea of what you can do. I'm a visual person. If I see what I have, I use it. If it's locked away in a drawer, I'm more apt to forget about it. And what else? And I like things together, similar things together. And that really helps me to find what I'm looking for when I need a particular item. So that being said, I thought I would share with you how I store the envelopes and clear envelopes, as well as plastic bags for like mailing embellishments and different things in, and also how I store my clear acrylic pockets, because when I get my stamps and dies, I take them out of the original packaging and put them in clear pockets and I cut cardstock. It's not my idea. I think a lot of crafters do that, especially card makers. Got the idea from Jennifer McGuire. Kudos to her. And but I wanted to share with you, what do I do with all the original packaging? So I'm going to share that as well. And then when my husband gets home from his job, he's supposed to work through this Saturday, and then his part in that project is supposed to be over. It'll take him several days to get home because he's on the West Coast, and he's driving home. And once we're sure he's good and healthy, and then he will help me film again. Because for right now, because of what's going on in our world, he does not have another project to go to right away. So he will be home with me, and he will help me film the different parts of my craft room, because I want to film my coloring station, my closet, and these items that you see today, that's where all but one are stored. They're up in my closet. Okay, so I probably will get asked this, so I thought I would just share. I do purchase envelopes from different people, but most of my envelopes are from Gina K. Because I'm a card maker and I take a lot of time and put a lot of effort into my cards, I don't want to use a real flimsy envelope. I need something sturdy that will hold up through the mail. I have purchased some envelopes at a craft store that were really, really flimsy, and I ended up throwing them away. I think I used some for like pocket cards, you know, making different types of cards, but they were not doable for sending cards in. So I have cards from, envelopes from Stampin' Up, Simon Says Stamp, and Gina K. And I really do like the Gina K ones because you can get different, a whole bunch of different colors from her. She's just a beautiful rainbow of colors, but she also offers like shimmer cards and matte cards. At least she used to. It's been a while since I purchased some. But so in here I have large envelopes, even like a glassine envelope. I have envelopes for slimline cards, 3 different sizes of those. I've got some bubble mailers that are small for cards, and because a lot of times I like dimension on my cards. Normally when I send off a card that's got a lot of dimension, I will make my own envelope and I will put it in a package along with some gifts for the recipient. But every once in a while I'll make a card and I'll make it slimmer, add some dimension, and I will mail it off in a bubble mailer like that. So I've got envelopes all the way down to small ones like 3x3 in here. So another thing I like about this little, I can pull them off the shelf really easy. So I think it's got some really sturdy foam core in the center here, you know, in the sides, because they're really nice and sturdy. And then in this one, I keep my clear envelopes. Now, I've been asked many times, where do I get the envelopes that I put my actual card in before I put it in the mailing envelope? Now, sometimes if I mail a card in a package, I will just put it in this rather than in an envelope too. But I used to sell Stampin' Up! Years ago, and then I also sold, not at the same time, but close to my heart, and I did purchase a lot of the clear envelopes from Stampin' Up! And this is my last package of Stampin' Up! Clear cellophane envelopes. I don't know if they still make them, to be truthful. Maybe one of you do know that or not, but I don't. But I bought like, I don't know, maybe 10 of these, and so I'm down to my last one. And I bought a whole bunch of more different size ones from, I'm thinking it was Ellen Hudson. Was it Ellen Hudson? It was one of the online craft stores, and I got them in all different sizes. These are for like 5x5 cards. These are for really large cards. I guess I could take them out like that so you can see it better. Those are nice and large. So I keep all of those here in the front. So like I said, I've used this storage system for my envelopes and everything for years. I know that what size and in the order they go in, because I've just done that for years. So when I need one, I know they're right there in the front. And then behind them, I have glassine bags in a Ziploc envelope. I have other glassine bags right behind them, loose. And then behind that, I just have some cute little baggies and envelopes there to put goodies in when I'm mailing them off. These I got at the dollar spot. And then I've got these handled bags that are fun to decorate. I did one recently with the Sherry Baldy digi stamp, and colored that up and put that on there and decorated the bag. And then in the back, I just have Ziploc bags with all sizes of different little Ziploc bags. And then let me take these out real quick to share with you. Where can I put that so that I don't get, there we go. that worked. So back here, I have my different envelopes that I use for my storage pockets for my dies and my stamps. Now, I don't use just my favorite things. I've used some from Ellen Hudson, Stampin' Up, not Stampin' Up, Simon Says Stamp. They're different size, and then these big daddies there. So I've got all of that there. And then here are my pockets. These smaller ones that I use for my smaller stamp sets and my smaller dies came from Simon Says Stamp. And they sit here. And this is just a little container I got. It has 3 separate spots here for the envelopes. And so I just keep a big amount of these on hand of the different sizes. So that way, when I take the product out of their regular original packaging, I can pop them in there. And most of these are filled. I do keep a paper for each size separate. And that way, when I need to cut down more to fill in the pockets, I just take that out. That's my measuring one, and I go to town and cut away. So that's how I store those. And if I get extra ones, like if these cut the papers down, I can store them right there in that front pocket. So what do I do with all the original packaging? I keep it. Why? Because, and here it is. Can you see that? And this is another container that I got at Office Max. Let me see if I can move my camera without it being too jerky there for you. Let me see if I can set it down now without making you sick to your stomach. So I keep the original packaging for a twofold reason. If I'm going to share a product, I want to know in a video, I want to know the name of the product, you know, so I can share that with you. Because inevitably I will share a die set or a stamp set and somebody will say, where did you get that? Or what's the name of that, you know? And I have the packaging here and I can look it up. And you might think there's no rhyme or reason. There is. Spellbinder is on the top. And then I have MFT and Hello Bluebird. See, I don't know if you can see in there, but it goes in there like that. And then another reason is when I destash stamps or dies, I put them in their original packaging for the person. That way they have it, they'll have the name of the product, you know, it's just better that way. Every once in a while I may not have the original packaging, but most of the time I do. So that's why I keep that. Alrighty, so I hope this helped you guys. A couple of other things. If you don't have to have, you know, like the containers that I shared. I don't even know if you can get them anymore. But you can get like these beautiful boxes from the Dollar Tree or Simon Says Stamp. You can put your envelopes, your packaging, things like that in these containers. Another thing that you can do, I got this from Target, the Dollar Spot, a couple of years ago. And I actually put some of my Bible study books, devotions and everything in there, and they sit in there. Now I took them out for the video, but you could put your packaging or your envelopes in that as well. And then here's this. I do think I got this. Did I get this at Office Max? I don't remember, so I apologize. But it's the same premise. You know, you could put your packaging, your envelopes in there. That way you have like things together. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, I would really appreciate it if you give it a thumbs up. And I have some more things to share with you, some more storage ideas. I've done a lot of fussy cutting, and I kind of changed up a little bit how I'm storing all those fussy cut pieces. So I will share that in a video in a few days. Have a wonderful week. Thanks for stopping by my channel. I really appreciate it. God bless. Bye for now.